Hello everyone, my name is Will. I'm a local music teacher. I tutor in voice, piano, flute, euphonium, music theory, ear training, and composition. This month I'm telling you all about the different things that I do. Last time we talked, I was telling you about how I work with special needs individuals and all the things that I do with them and what I've learned from them. This time I want to talk to you about group classes. Sometimes people don't want to take a class by themselves, so I consider a group class anything that has more than one student. It's a group. Even if it's just two, it's still a group. So how do I handle group classes? Well, really, what I focus on, it depends on the subject matter. The group class that I taught the latest, I actually worked with a youth band. So that would be at a church where they do worship music, basically. So I worked with kids who played guitar and bass guitar and drums and singing and things like that. So what I focused on there was really how the group as a whole blends. For whatever reason this means blends, I don't know. So when I work on group classes, I'm really working on group things. So again, I was working on a youth band, so I wanted to make sure the sound sounded good. Did everything blend? Did everyone fit? Did all the voices work together? Did all the instruments play at the same time? The way I did this was I worked really hard with all of them as a group. And then once every couple weeks, we broke off into small groups where I could work with like the drummer by themselves. So I would have the drummer play actually with like a device that would record them, have them listen back to it, work on some basic rhythm things, and go back to that. I had the singers working with me at the keyboard, getting blends, working on their range. And then I had the guitar players working with me, and my father-in-law is a great guitar player. So he worked with them, making sure they knew how to play their instrument, how to hold it, and things like that. So that's how I would work with a group that is like a performance group. If you were to do a group class with me, like group piano or group voice, we would really just basically do the basics of everything. So group piano would be a lot of like, sit down at the piano, everyone, let's play the 5-note C scale. Da 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 da. Good, left hand, da 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 da. And we'd go, as quickly as we could as a group. Everyone would have to be making the same amount of progress. And I wouldn't be able to go faster for somebody who was doing well. I'd have to make sure to keep it the same. This is why I'm actually leery of group lessons, because there's always somebody who's doing really well who needs to go faster, and there's always somebody who's not doing so well that needs to go slower. So sometimes group lessons work out, sometimes they don't. For group voice lessons, it would be a lot of like, let's get to know the voice. Let's do solfege. Let's try to get our voice to do exactly what we want it to do. I want pitch accuracy. I want to get your breathing where it needs to be. So all of this, again, it would be done as a group thing, so we'd have to move at the group's pace. So again, if you're advanced, you might get bored. If you're not as advanced or you're falling behind, you may not be able to keep up. So again, that's how group classes for that would work. Where group classes really would be beneficial. Music theory. So here's the deal. Music theory is interesting because it didn't exist when some of the composers wrote the music. In fact, we looked back at what they did and came up with rules that explains how the music works and why it works. So the reason this will work as a group class really, really well is, one, it is basically like going to a normal class, like an English class, only instead of studying the English language, we're studying music, which, in my opinion, is just like another language. You have to be able to read it. You have to be able to express how you want it done. So having a group of people would actually be beneficial, because those who are understanding things faster or maybe in a different way could help those who are falling behind. So I really recommend doing a group, like a music theory class, group ear training class. Ear training, in case you don't know what it is, that's when I or whoever's teaching would play a random melody. So like da da da, and then you would have to notate what you heard. It's not just singing it back. It's actually writing it down, making sure you know what the pitch is. Learning the difference between a major chord and a minor chord and everything like that. So that's how those kind of group classes will work. The last kind of group class that I could offer, and I normally don't, but I could, is a composition class. Now, right now, I'm not really teaching anyone composition, just because there's not a lot of interest there right now. I think it may be where I am. I'm in Connecticut, in case any of you don't know. In New England, we have music, but it's not as prevalent as if I would be in like New York, LA, Nashville, things like that. So what would happen in a group composition class? I would actually be working with you to help you find your creativity, expand a little bit. We would work on things, we would probably start on arranging, so taking a simple melody and making it more than it is. And then from exploring that side, getting your ideas on paper, teaching you how to use things like finale or Sibelius or one note, it's one note, there's note flight, there's muse score, there's all kinds of stuff. Crescendo, I use crescendo. Getting those notation programs and everything down. So that's kind of how group lessons go. Again, I stress that the speed of a group lesson can only be determined by kind of like the commonality of what's going on. So if you want to think about it, I can't really cater to the people who are learning super fast. I can't cater to the people who are learning super slow. We have to keep going at a steady pace. It is more rubriced, and there is more just expectation for the class. So like I will probably say like on this week we're going to work on this, and I expect you to have it done by that week. So if you're interested in group classes, you can go ahead and find me on my Facebook. Just look up Will's Music page on Facebook, or you can look for me at takelessons.com. My name is William Parker. Type in piano, flute, euphonium, ear training, basically anything that we just discussed. And look for me. As I said, I offer the group classes. They haven't really done a lot lately. I am about to do something really awesome at our public library. That'll be for another video. Check it out when you can. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, share with a friend. And again, I hope you get into music lessons as soon as possible. It's fantastic. It works on your entire brain. You will love it. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.